Welcome once again to another episode of the Independent Thinkers Podcast. I am your host, Tarek Pittman. This is the Independent Thinkers Podcast where we talk about local life, sports, and politics. And today, I have a very special guest with me today. He's big throughout the community, donates a lot of his time, a lot of his effort to help young people within the community. And it's a pleasure to have him on the show, Mr. Moe Deloach. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Good. We talked, a lot of people know you and know your story. You know, you've talked about it a little bit, but you and I are from the same neighborhood, and, your journey. Tell me a little, for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about your journey. How do you get to this point, in your life to kind of help people a little bit?
Well, basically, I grew up in the South Rocky Mount community. Born and raised my whole life, two-parent home, everything was good. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I came from one parent and this and that. So everything was pretty good in my household. It's just, the area was in was South Rocky Mount. So, I used my outlet of being able to play basketball to take me to another level. I always knew, that I wanted to, go and play basketball. I knew I wanted to come back home and help because when I was growing up, it wasn't a lot of stuff or a lot of people coming back to do stuff in where I grew up at. So, that's what one of my goals was, me saying like, okay, if I, potentially do something with basketball, I'm going to always come home and, do what I can do to help the community, help the youth, help the ones under me.
Good. You've done a good job of that. Now, you got one knock against you, I must say. You went to Northern Nash.
Yeah, I had
and, and you're proud that you went to Northern Nash.
Very, very.
Wear the green and gold, and
I love it. I love it. Well, back when I'm growing up in South Rocky Mount, that was the district.
Yeah.
All my friends went to Northern.
Yeah.
We went to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I didn't want to switch schools and become a Griffon because it was like me being a traitor.
Yeah, I did it, man.
I couldn't do it. I hate to say this for the ones that's watching, but I hate Rocky Mount Senior High with a passion.
Oh my God, I got him on the show, y'all. He's saying that on the show. God.
But as a sports person, it's a lifetime rival. Even
young people nowadays, they don't
really know it. Like it's a lifetime rival with being that I went to Northern and Senior High. I mean, they had alumni games, and I still just feel the fire of the alumni, just being, just that passion of sports and passion of me wearing that green and gold and going against Rocky Mount Senior High was just like it was just like a dream and just living a dream come true.
You guys used to put it to us then, man. I remember when you played.
It was some battles, man, back then.
So you've done a lot of things in the community. First of all, you're an entrepreneur. One of the most popular restaurants in the city, Moe Deloach. You also do the annual Griffon alumni basketball game, which draws a lot of people. You also do the annual book bag giveaway, which I believe is this weekend.
Yes.
And you also do numerous walks for charity, for different things. You epitomize what I often describe to people as kind of a roll call for life: God, family, and community. You came from a Christian household. Your dad is a good mentor of mine. Family, you're very family oriented. Your restaurant that you own is a family business.
Right.
And you're still loyal to your friends that you grew up with as a kid, which where we're from, we consider that to be family also.
Yes.
And you're out in the community and you're constantly doing things. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you do.
Well, we'll start with the alumni game. My man, Rashawn McMillan, and I think Jay Kelly was ones that came up with the idea. I was just a part of it.
Yeah.
So it was just more of things that I was doing. It's just all the stuff when I was overseas.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of time on hand when I was overseas, and I would just always read. I would think. I would watch videos, and I was like, yo, it would be cool if I can do some of this same stuff back home. I'm well known back home, and I think I get a lot of respect back home because, as an athlete, most people don't go back to their hometown.
Right.
So when I was coming back home, people used to knock it for me, but I was still hanging in my neighborhood. Like I was a whole professional athlete, and I was still hanging in my neighborhood. I was still hanging with my friends. I was still hanging on my front porch where they say the block where the homies be at. I was still there, right. And I think that's what made people realize like I'm more like, he really from the hood, and he really, went somewhere, and it made it feel like they lived their life through me.
That's right.
So when I was going overseas and I was keeping people updated, I was FaceTiming my homies overseas. I was showing them like the Coliseum, and when I was in Rome, when I was showing them different stuff, it's like they're like, wow, like he really is one of us, but he really went over and did something in his life. And I just always think, God first, and I had a supporting family, and then also, man, it's just the grind. You just got to be able to grind, because I wanted to quit a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then, being that you from a small town in Rocky Mount, everybody knows everybody. I felt like I had Rocky Mount on my back.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to give up and be like, man, people, I know when I come home, why you home? Why you this? Why you ain't continue to go? So it's like that moment I wanted to quit, I just always remember like, okay, it's a kid that I'm going to be able to tell this story to that's going to give him the motivation.
That's right.
And that's what kept me going and, kept me striving and kept me pushing.
It's crazy.
To become
I
better.
don't mean to interrupt you, but it's crazy. I used to keep track of when you were coming home. When I was downtown, I would keep track. We were friends on social media. I would see you would be home this date. I would ask your dad. And I knew we were about to get busy downtown when you came home, and that was, you always was an unselfish person where you looked at everybody and you tried to help everybody. And I think that's a tremendous asset, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like, I always cared about the city in the whole. I didn't want to be selfish and be like, I just want me to get the business or me to do this or me to do that. It's just I want everyone to win, because I feel like downtown now with Moe and D's, I hope 20 restaurants come, because it's going to make it better for me. It's going to make it better for other establishments down there, because that's all you need is traffic.
Yeah.
If you get the traffic, I think everything's going to happen. It is, I've been in a lot of places, and downtown is the place to be in other cities. So that's why I'm big on downtown. I'm big on promoting downtown, because I have friends that ride through here all the time, and it's like, yo, this is tremendous. This is a dope idea if y'all can get this going.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that people from other cities can see it, and then you come to Rocky Mountain and it's like
so negative at times.
It's like, we don't want downtown this, we don't need the event center, we don't need this. I'm like, yo, we need everything we can get to, to make this thing go. Like, I'm big for everything. Nash and Edge Coast, I'm big on everything. If it's downtown, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm with you. We were talking earlier, and I was telling you about I decided to move the business back downtown. It's because I started, the process, left, and I missed it, man. I missed the friends. I missed the camaraderie. I missed, going into people's shops and sitting down and talking and coming up with different ideas. The thing about downtown is that we're all a family.
Yeah.
And we, with some of the things that are going on in the world and some of the things that may be going on in the city, we never let that stuff come between us, and we always focus on helping each other grow. And I think that's the one thing that I miss. Tell me this. Tell me, you've been an entrepreneur for a few years now, a while. What is one of the most difficult things about being an entrepreneur to you?
Well, me, the difficult thing was I was always away. So when I started the restaurant, me and my family, my dad and my uncle, I was overseas. Yeah. So it was one of those things that, as a family, we want to leave a legacy behind. And, my uncle and my dad did a good job of, promoting me also, being that, okay, you the face of the city, and it'd be good if we all can come together, collaborate, and do this. Sure. I didn't really care for a restaurant, because I was just like, all right, I'm gonna be overseas, so I'll let you guys handle that. But then again, like now learning more about the restaurant and stuff, it's very, very difficult. You know, and at times it's like
that's a tough business, man.
It's a tough business, and then you got to realize nobody, my uncle or my dad, never did a restaurant before. So it's like we all went in blind. Yeah. And we thinking, okay, we can cook as a family, so we're gonna be able to go in here and just knock the roof off, and it didn't work like that. Yeah. You don't understand food costs or employees or insurance, or you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, and this and that. So it's like, it's a learning experience. And now I'm thinking we finally trying to get it down pat. I have talked to a lot of people. Shout out to Mr. Ed from Prime. He took me under. Yeah, he took me under the wing, and he didn't have to do it. He's like, okay, this is what you need to do. I can help you with this. And, just talking to other people too, and everybody that I've talked to was willing to help. Yeah, they didn't want to charge me or anything. Like, it was just me going in there. They see the potential, they see the good that I have done in the city, and I'm continuing to do, and it's like, yo, we want to help you out. If you got any questions, this is what we need to do. So
that's one thing I can say about Ed is that Ed, it was always kind of a quiet mentor for us. We argued all the time. Ed and I was right across the street from each other, but he never would let me hang on a limb, you know. Unlike a lot of other businesses out there, if they felt like I did something wrong, or they felt like, we never shied away from giving each other, you know, constructive criticism, you know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's like family. We want all of us to be successful and to do the best that we can. So this weekend you got a huge event, the book bag giveaway. I think it's like what, the 5th year you guys have done it?
Yeah, I was
Largest crowd.
Yeah.
I still say this, one of the largest crowds in with any event in Rocky Mount. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, I have did it. I think this is the 5th, 6th year. I had collaboration with OIC a couple years doing it, and we usually do the Blacktop Classic. But this year, we didn't want to do it because we didn't. I mean, because of the COVID and stuff like that. So I was like, I have to do something for the kids. You know, I have to do something to get them excited. So came to my mind, like, we was doing the food drive by with the food. I was like, so why couldn't we do a drive by with the school supplies? And then people, they're not going back to school and blah, but I'm like, yo, listen, kids love book bags.
Yes.
And you know, as a kid, you know, you get a new book bag, you know, it's kids now, they walk around with the book bag, nothing is in it. It's just that having that book bag in your
like
bag.
that as kids too, because you know, when sometimes you come from a black family, you get one book bag.
One book bag,
and as soon as you tear that strap off, you on your own.
And I had a book bag growing up. It was holy. I had that book bag 5-6 years. You know, so it's just like, you know, I understand, because I'm in the neck of the neighborhood. I'm still riding through my neighborhood all the time. I'm still out there, you know, playing with the kids and stuff like that. So I understand it. And then, you know, I just think, you know, just having something for them to look forward to.
You
know,
where's your passion for young people come from, man?
It's like just seeing them.
You're always heavily involved with young people. And being a mentor for them, and you know, your basketball camp last year. Good gracious, I didn't realize it would bring out so many people. Where did that passion come from? Did you see a lot growing up that you were like, if I'm ever in a position to help, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help? Is that what it is?
And that's what it mainly came from, me growing up and where I grew up at. It came from, because it seemed like people didn't want to come to that side of town.
Correct.
You know, it was hard to get motivational speakers. It was hard to do this. Besides the ones that was in the neighborhood, and you know, the older ones that tried to look out, they did a good job of trying to raise us. But it's like, you know, you didn't get I never seen a professional athlete. So I said, me growing up, if I ever become a professional athlete, I'm gonna let all the kids be able to touch me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to feel like, oh, he's too big headed or he's too this. I want them to be able to, hey, if you want my phone number, take my phone number, call me. You know, I got kids that call me now. I forget who they are, but I sit and talk to them and text them. Pull up here, come to South Rocky Mountain Gym, come work with me, come do this. I do that because when I was younger, I didn't have that person. And it drove me to become this person I am today, you know, to work with the youth and mentor the youth and just be there like a big brother to everyone.
It's good, man. You played college basketball at Norfolk State, right?
Yes, sir.
Norfolk State, you graduated from Norfolk State, you went overseas, played professional basketball years for a long time, man.
10 years.
10 years, man. What were some of your fondest memories? Because first of all, you have to be very strong-willed and strong-minded to get on a plane, fly 14, 15 hours, land in a city that you know absolutely nobody, and then be able to go to work every day and excel at it. What is one of some of the things that you kind of learned from being overseas and
Well, I learned the power of unity. You know, and I like, you know, my first year I was in Poland. I was maybe the only black. So imagine being in Rocky Mount. And you are the only black person in Rocky Mount.
Were you famous? Were you a celebrity?
I mean,
everywhere you go, people mob you.
So honestly, I used to be in the grocery store. So it was me and 3 teammates. I had 3 teammates. It was 4 of us in the whole town we was in Poland. I used to walk in the grocery store, and older women used to stop, look at me, and like come try to touch me to see if I was real. So amazing. You know, I'm like, I used to ask my teammates, like, yo, that is racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they explained to me, like, you have to understand, this is a small town in Poland. Some of these people never seen a black African-American before, ever, besides on TV. So that was something new for me, but it helped me understand, I had teammates that spoke English. They were trying to teach me some of the Polish. Poland was I ain't gonna say the worst country, but it was the most difficult time because I was coming from America, from college, having a great time, being a man, doing this too, going to Eastern Europe,
Woo.
you know, cold all the time. It gets dark at 4:00.
Woo.
You know, so that was the hardest part of my life. But
Did
I
you
got
ever
through
think
it.
about giving up?
I wanted to give up so bad. I was praying to God, why I just couldn't make the NBA. You know, but it was part of my journey and part of my story, because after this, I ended up, everything else was easy. I went through the hard part. So, you know, after I left Poland, I ended up going to Czech Republic. So Czech Republic was a lot better. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot better. And then I ended up going to Italy.
Wow,
so Italy was like,
is
it was
nice,
like,
right?
Italy was like, I'm in America.
Yeah,
you know, and I played in Rome. I stayed up the street from the Coliseum. So I played in Rome 3 years.
Wow.
So it was more of, okay, I did the hard part, was my first year. The second year was okay. And then third year, Italy. And then I stayed in Italy. I didn't want to go nowhere because I was like, I can't go through this. Yeah. So I was like, every year I kept signing in Italy. And then last couple of years signed a 3-year deal with a team. I was like, yo, I'm sticking here. Yeah. You know, security, they love me here. I'm used to it. I'm not really homesick. And it's a great place to be. I used to study about Italy in social studies, and I never thought that I would be playing where I studied.
South Rocky Mount, man.
It's a story.
Playing ball and balling too.
Yeah.
You know, you were there balling, man. Like I would keep track of you, man. Like I was a silent fan, and you know, because you was from my neighborhood, you was from Rocky Mount, and everything you posted on social media, I would keep track of it, you know, because I wanted you to do good.
Yeah, and that's
great, you know?
and that's one thing I can say. The power of social media at a time like that, it gives people to see, you know, what's really going on. And then one good thing I can say about Rocky Mount, that I always had great support, and people want to see you do good if you're coming from the city.
That's right.
So, you know, I have people reach out to me all the time, man, we keep up with you on Facebook, man, keep posting and keep doing this. So I was like, wow, people do keep up with what's going on. And, you know, that's the power of social media. It gives people a chance. I'm wailing in another country, and it's giving them a chance to see what's going on in that country, how my career going, you know, things like that. So, I mean, that was definitely a plus in the era of the social media area. It's a plus.
It's good. What were some of the negatives you had to deal with? I know you mentioned, you know, going into places, people touching you or whatever. Did you ever face any situation where that was just like, whoa, like, you know?
Yeah, a couple times. It wasn't like really, really bad, but it was, you know, a couple times you go into places and you can tell you're not wanted there. Yeah. And I don't know if it was because I was African American, or maybe it was because I was American. You know, and you know, it was a couple times that especially Poland was a couple times I went to places, and you know, I felt the vibes and I got out of there. You know what I'm saying? Then you know, you can I didn't speak the language, but you can tell. You could tell body language, and you know, soon you walk in, they looking at funny, and so you know, that's majority of the main issue. Also with the pay sometimes. So you know, in America, if you're expected to get paid on the 9th, you expect your check. Right. You know what I'm saying? So overseas, it doesn't work like that. You're in a whole nother country. So it's times I have been in my career a month without getting paid. 2 months without getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So
and everybody's acting like it's
normal. It's normal. And I'm going to practice like, yo, I'm not here. I could stay home. But it's just, you know, how the culture is, you know. And as I got older, you know, I understood, you know, your general manager come to you like, hey, guy, we're going to be late this month. Our sponsor's not sending the money, but you're going to get your money. You sign a contract, you're going to get your money. But, you know, it takes a veteran to understand. I didn't understand that till I got older in my career. And I started communicating with general managers and people throughout the organization. And they was explaining to me like, hey, we're not the type of people, I don't know what you used to in America, but you know, if you say we're going to pay you, we're going to pay you. It might come a little late because it's not like the NBA. It's like, you know, they're not getting money from the fans and merchandise. They're majority getting their money from sponsors and stuff like that. So if the sponsor's late, they don't have the money to pay you out their pocket. So they're getting their money for the sponsor. The sponsor late, then sometimes the money's going to be late.
You know, entrepreneur, you have to deal with that sometimes. You
got to
do invoices and stuff like that, so you get battle tested. So there's a huge movement in the country now around Black Lives Matter. Some people, you know, are bashing the organization itself. But, you know, I know you probably feel the same way. To me, it's like a call to arms for us as a community to rally behind, even for different people from all different races to kind of rally behind the cause to do better and to allow us to have opportunities. Do you feel the same way about
Yeah, absolutely. I think more of the Black Lives Matter thing is more of we're tired. You know, and I had friends from overseas during this time call me and say, man, I'm so sorry what's going on, and we're behind you and stuff like that. I even had, some of my white friends here called me and was like, man, I don't understand what it feels like to be a black man, but man, just talk to me.
Yeah.
So, that means a lot, because people really don't understand what it is to be a black man unless you're a black man.
That's correct.
It's probably one of the most difficult human beings to be.
Yeah.
Because you get stereotyped and you be this and be that. Yeah. So it's very difficult, but I believe, and I believe that change is coming.
Yeah.
And I believe not only we are tired, but I believe a lot of people in America are tired of, some of the wrongdoings and
what I
some things
find
going on.
I find like I'm like you, because some people call me too, and they'll say, "Yeah, I spoke to Moe," and all that, and it's like some white guys, and it's like the one thing that I found out from them is that they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. They're a lot of people are ignorant to. Not because it's their fault, they live their life and they're, in their bubble, but a lot of times it's that they don't know the things that we experience as black guys, They don't know how it feels to be pulled over, on 64 coming from Tarboro at night, and it's just you and an officer, and what that feels like, So it's good that you are, because a lot of guys are coming back, business guys that I deal with, they're coming back telling me, yeah, I spoke to Moe and he explained that to me. So that's a good thing, man. Like it's we have to educate a lot of people. A lot of people come across, and our first impression is as black people that they're racist. But then when you talk to them, a lot of times they don't even know.
And I just think that's the hurt, I talked to a lot of my friends, and they was furious when this stuff was going on, to the point it was like, any white person we see is on. And I'm like, yo, we can't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta give people hype too. Yeah, and I'm like, let's go. Like, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, it's not like that, because I'm cool with a lot of white people, and I was in countries that, so it's like more of, just explaining, more explaining. It's telling your side of the story, because, like my white friends overseas, they contacted me. They was like, is it true that like police officers stop you for no reason? Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's not a movie, bro. It happens.
It's real.
It's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's amazing that you see other countries, recognize it, you know what I'm saying? And they're sick and tired of it too, you know what I'm saying? And I have friends tell me, yo, why did you come back to America, man? It was we loved you here. Like, we loved you here. Why did you want to come all the way back when you had, a lifestyle here? And it was more of, I feel like I owe home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I owe home, and I feel like I'm part of the change. Right. And I want to be part of the change. So that's why I came back home. I could have went anywhere. My face is good in a lot of places. Yeah. But I said, I belong here in Rocky Mount, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm here.
That's right. That's good. Now, downtown Rocky Mount is becoming kind of a cornucopia for African-American owned businesses to open up. It's a good thing to see, that we are becoming young entrepreneurs. We are giving back to our communities, and, because the one thing as a black entrepreneur that a lot of people don't realize is that the community comes to you for help. You have this added responsibility of giving back to your community, and they're going to hold you accountable for it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a good thing that, that there's opportunities down there for African Americans to open businesses, to become examples for young people in the community. What do you think?
That's big for me, you know, and I tell people this all the time, man. If you have an opportunity, go for it. Yeah. And us as a community downtown, especially us as black people, we got to help promote each other. It's not a competition. Like, everyone can win. Yeah. And that's what sometimes everything turns into a competition. Yeah. If I'm selling a hot dog for $1, you're gonna go sell it for 90 cents. Like, nah, it shouldn't be like that. One's gonna win. Yeah, no, if I'm selling hot dogs, I'm gonna go somewhere and sell some wings, or I'm gonna sell a cheeseburger. I'm gonna try to do something, but I'm trying to bring everyone together. Like, me, myself, I go shop with everybody downtown. Right. Like, I go get a coffee from Nav's, I go there, I go here. Yeah. It's just to support everyone, and then I try to post or try to do this because it's just I think, collaboration and is the biggest key in downtown. It's just gonna take that one time. Yeah. For everyone to come together, everyone see what's going on downtown, and people gonna flock. I truly believe downtown's gonna be the place to be.
I believe it too, man. I still have. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come back, is because I still believe that the work is not done yet, and there is an opportunity for us to be, for downtown Rocky Mount to be an example, not only for people in North Carolina, but all around the United States. Look at what they're doing in downtown Rocky Mount. It just takes people like yourself, like me, and Kim at the Bass Place, and Ed, and being in Barrow, and those people to believe, Nemas, and people to believe that we're going to stand fast, and we're going to make this, a dream and become a reality. And I think the right people are in place for that to happen as business owners. What if I would say, Mo, where do you see yourself? Simple question we've been asked this before. What are your goals, and where do you see yourself in 10 years here in the city?
Well, for one, getting my nonprofit where it needs to be. I started a foundation.
I forgot about motivation.
Yeah, the Motivation Foundation. So that's my main goal. And I also want to do, I don't know if I should say it, but I want to do a training facility. I want to have a training facility here for the youth, for all sports. So, I posted along probably a month ago.
Somebody didn't get it. Somebody said, you got the event center.
Yeah,
that's not what he's saying.
It's not. I want a whole training facility where people can go and train and, be taught the right way, whether it's soccer, golf, baseball, basketball. I want just a whole training facility. And we don't have one in Rocky Mount.
Yeah, you hear that, investors?
Yeah, I need.
You hear that?
Come
it's
see.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's
teaching young people knowledge of self, and teaching them how to play sports, teaching them a trade in the process. There's a lot of different ways you can go with that.
Yeah, so that's one of the keys. That's my main goal is just that Motivation Foundation and just getting this facility up and running. So it can be something that I can bring some athletes in, and they can train there, and then I got professional friends as athletes, and some of the youth here, the high school top athletes, they can all come train in this facility, and it gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah, and when you think about it, you think about one thing that people don't know about National Edgecombe County is that we've had some of the top football athletes in the nation over the last maybe 5 or 10 years. And just imagine if we had a farm system where we can not only teach them how to progress in their particular sport, but also how to grow as men too.
Grow as men, and also just teaching them to come back. Come back home, and give back. Like you got Todd Gurley and Tarboro. You got Montrez Harrell, out there where they do a great job of coming back home and giving back. So it's potential, and it's a lot of potential here in Rocky Mount, especially with the youth. I see them all the time playing basketball, playing football. I'm saying, this kid is special. But if they got the right people leading them and showing them the way, and you see an example like Moe came back home, he retired and he gave back. They'll do the same thing. And it's not always about money. Right. Give your time back. Right. Like Todd Gurley and them boys came, Taquan, Todd, they came to my basketball camp. They could have gave money, but they gave time. Right. And that means a lot more to the kids. They'll remember that forever. Some of the kids will never get a chance to see a top football player, two of them at that.
Offensive MVP.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like more of a, it's a motivation to them, like, okay, they come back home, so if I make it, I'm coming back home and make sure my city is good.
Good. One last thing I want to touch base on. You and I were selected for the mayoral's committee on safe streets. And I remember we had a meeting, and you and I were on the same page. Like, we were the real people in the room. Like, hey, so crime is perceived and possibly is a big problem in this area. What do you see as like a solution that could kind of help make that a downward trend in the area?
Money.
Yeah.
Money. Creating jobs. Yeah. Creating jobs and creating opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think, as coming up from the hood, we know it's about money. Yeah. Let's get to this money.
You ain't got it. You don't have it. You're going to figure out how to get it.
So I'm thinking, providing trades. And I think, giving these younger kids opportunity to do something. We got a program I think OIC and Peacemakers did a program, and they send kids over to the restaurant to work.
Yeah.
More things like that. More organizations coming together and doing stuff like that, giving these kids opportunities. And I think the 2 kids that's over there now, we're changing their lives.
Good.
Because we gave them an opportunity. And it's like it's a lot more of these guys out here that need opportunity. And just getting different programs set up for them. A boxing ring, or every kid's not going to be an athlete, so it's more things they need to know how to do.
Right. Good point. All right, so there you have it. Moe this weekend, right?
This Saturday, South Rocky Mount Gym, 5 to 7. We're gonna be doing a book bag giveaway. I think it's gonna be about 1,000 book bags. We're gonna try to give away.
Good.
Just all for the community, man. Come on out. Just gonna be a drive-through. We're gonna have food. What is Little Mae's Kitchen?
Yeah. Jamal, good food, man.
Good guy.
Jamal's a good guy.
Yeah, he contacted me, said he's gonna handle the food.
Good.
So it's gonna be big.
Good.
It's gonna be big. It's just gonna be big for the whole Rocky Mount. Anybody come out, drive through. Have several masks for you if you want to get out and get your food, but we want social distancing.
Yeah.
And just drive through. We're gonna get your bags. We're gonna have enough for everyone. If we don't have enough, we're gonna make it work somewhere somehow.
Good deal, man. My main man, Moe Deloach. Look out for him on social media. Some of the things that he'll be doing in the community. Great guy. Thank you once again. This concludes another episode of the Independent Thinkers Podcast. I'm your host, Tarek Pittman, one of Pittman's baby boy. Until next time, thank you.